Miss Shelby,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Carolyn.
Hello.
And last week, I did not know you were going to assign them 10 pages in the workbook. And I happened to look at the workbook questions after we got offline. And I noticed that there was another contraction that we did not go over, the not. And so I have a little whiteboard that reviews he's, she's, and then also the option, if it's not, to do the N apostrophe T.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready for me to do that, just let me know.
Okay.
Most of it, I thought that you were right, they could probably do, but toward that would be on page 15, I think. And we didn't quite get to page 15.
Oh, I see.
It asked them on the last page, page 10, to write some sentences using the isn't.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. I I just started my new job, so I've been kind of busy, so I haven't been able to plan any pronunciation this week. And I don't think they sent me a devotional this week.
I got it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so
I got it, and Lydia is supposed to have it fixed up where we could go there and bring up the picture. So do you want me to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, we can start with that, and then after we do that, you can just go ahead and go into the contractions for not. I think you're muted. Yeah, there you go. Hi, Ureba.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I like the fish.
Yeah, the background Miss Carolyn has. Miss Carolyn looks like she's in the ocean.
I have a teenage daughter, so what can I say? She's experimenting with all kinds of things. No. Today's the 3rd.
So yeah, do you like my clownfish one?
Yes, and it looks like my class likes it as well.
Yeah.
Are you finding my devotional thing?
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, no, that was the one.
Yes, this is the one for this week. We've not had this one. So what do I push to get it to come up when we're ready?
When you're ready, you just push this.
Okay.
Oh, wait. She'll have to allow you to do that.
Okay. Shelby, you have to give us permission to use that when you're ready for us to do that in order to use the share screen.
Okay, there you go. You should be able to.
Okay. Can you change my name to my name instead of your name?
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Where's my
Hi, Amalia. Hi.
Didn't clear.
Oh no. I'm so confused. Does that suit you?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
No wonder you can't do what you're doing here. You got something in your ear hollering at you.
See, look, I have my string A and P up there for anatomy.
Mm.
I guess we can wait until like 6:05 or something, like 2 more
Okay.
minutes. See if anybody else comes. Ureba, how's your week been?
I stay with my family. I was to um, I was to I don't know.
Can you say it in Spanish?
En Spanish is como nato. Is I I put flower in in garden.
A garden? Mm-hmm.
Yes, in the garden. It's in the big garden.
Did you go to a place? I don't know what I did to my screen now. There we go. Well, now I can't see them. Did you go to Cheekwood? Is that where you went?
And how do you say in English? Es granja,
A farm.
a farm. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the same, but no, it's a farm. Yes, yes, a farm.
Okay, very cool.
Yes, I uh, I was cut flower
Mm-hmm.
for my house. I hear music, Latin music.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I stay with friends and family.
Good. That sounds fun. How about you, Amalia? How has your week been?
Walking, go to the park, walking a little bit, and stay working with my daughters and homework.
Okay.
Little bit.
What grade are they in?
I have fourth grade, fifth grade, and 10th grade.
What schools do they go to?
My little one is St. George, Whitney, and Hendersonville,
Mm-hmm.
and my middle one is in Knoxville, in Hendersonville.
Mm-hmm.
And the oldest is in high school. It's Beach High School.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Beach. Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you live in Hendersonville, Amalia?
Yes, I live in Hendersonville.
Okay. Gotcha.
Can
Cool.
hear Magda, the song is not good.
Yeah, Amalia, your sound is a little bit off. We can hear you, but not very good.
Oh, let me check it. better? It's the same.
That's a little bit better.
It's better.
Better?
Hmm.
Maybe it's my computer. It's a little bit old, so.
That's all right. All right, Miss Carolyn, do you want to go ahead and start?
Okay, can you all see the screen, the picture of our devotional for tonight? What do I have to push, lady? You can see it, Shelby?
Yes.
Good. So our verse tonight is, so God created humans to be like himself. He made men and women. Genesis 1:27. So I said it for you first. Let's go back and read it together. So, can we read it together? Can you all say it? Or are you all muted and so that it doesn't create too much noise? Are we going to say it together? So,
So
God created
God created
humans. That means the same
Human.
as people. God created humans to be like himself.
So God created humans to be like himself.
He made men
He made men
and women.
and women.
And woman.
Okay, look in the picture. Is there a man and a woman in the picture?
Yes,
Yes, there's a man and a woman.
yes.
What other animals do you see in the picture?
Giraffes.
Pardon me?
She said.
Gi-
Hmm.
Giraffes.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And
the giraffe, is that what you said?
Birds.
Yeah.
Yes, there are birds.
Elephant.
Elephant.
There is an elephant.
Yes.
A bear.
Right in the right-hand corner, the bird looks like a parrot because his beak is shaped like what I would expect a parrot's beak to
Leon.
a parrot. The
Leon.
And
lion,
the lion.
yes. You can just see the top of his head and his eye. Create the animals as well as the humans. Yes, yes. He created the animals as well as the humans.
Tiger.
What is the woman holding in her arms?
A tiger.
It looks like a lion cub, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's say the verse one more time and then we'll move on to our vocabulary problem that may have come up in the homework assignment. So let's say it together one more time. So God
So God
created humans
created humans
Human.
to be like himself.
to be like
To be
himself.
like himself.
He made men and women.
He made men
He made
and
men
women.
Genesis
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 1:27.
1:27.
1:27.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Lydia, can you come get our devotional off of here? You didn't tell me how to get it off. Shelby, tell me if the camera, will the camera,
Right.
it just blocks it out?
Where'd you go? Here, I can stop your screen sharing.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, last week we talked about, now why is my picture doing that crazy thing?
I think it's because like the background sometimes it like recognizes you as the background for some reason. So now it thinks that you're the background.
Lydia, come take the background off or something. They can't see my whiteboard. You fixed it to where that the machine thinks I'm part of the background and it's blocking me out.
Yay, now we can see you.
Okay, good.
That
So,
Rita that just joined.
Oh, wait, it's backwards. Hang on.
no,
It's not backwards, I can see it.
it will be okay. It will be okay. It was last week and the week before. Okay, so last week we talked about doing not abbreviations, contractions. So we had two words, he is, and we shortened it to one word, but we used an apostrophe for the I. So we put he's and we put she's whenever it was he is or she is. But we failed to go on to the next page. On page 15 in your lesson book, it also talks about when we have the word not. I'm trying to see if I'm getting enough of that page on there. There we go. On page 15, it talks about I am not from Mexico. And we can say I apostrophe M, I'm not. But we cannot make an abbreviation out of not when we use I. Only with he is and she is. So we can say he's not, she's not, but we can also say he isn't. So we took the O out of not, and we put an apostrophe. See right over next to this edge where my finger is? He isn't. Also, she isn't. So we have two different kinds of contraction that we can do. We can say she's and take the I out of is, or we can say she is and then put in apostrophe T for not. This is very difficult sometimes to understand with our ears when people are talking, because they will say she isn't, and so you don't hear all of the letters separately. It just sounds like she's, because there's so many consonants together, unless they slow down, it's very difficult to hear. But when you're writing language, you can do the N apostrophe T for not. Now you can't do it with I, but you can do it in the third person. You can't use the first person into it because there isn't anything, you can't say amn't. Amn't isn't correct English.
Oh,
Has Raina joined us?
yeah.
I think Raina joined. Raina, did you hear me say that this lesson about using this other contraction, the N apostrophe T for the word not with your verb, that was on page 15 in your lesson book? We did not cover that last week when we were doing she's and he's, but when Shelby assigned the work in the workbook, it is on the questions on page 10 about writing sentences using the N apostrophe T with your verb. So again, we're taking two words and putting them together and make one word. Just like when we took it, she is and made it she's. Only now we're using isn't. Is,
Yes,
isn't,
I got it.
okay?
Yeah.
You understand? Okay.
Yes.
And because it's so many consonants together, sometimes it's difficult to hear when people are speaking that they mean it's a negative. It's not. Okay, any more questions about this?
No.
Okay. Okay, Shelby, are you ready to start your lesson, or was there something else I needed to do?
I didn't know if you wanted to, since we didn't get to page 15, if you wanted to do any of the activities on that page.
Okay, let's see. The practice that they give us on that page, do you all have your lesson books with you?
Just the regular book, not the workbook.
Right, just the regular lesson book. Shelby's holding up what that page looks like, page 15. See the large number 2 in green where it says practice? Look at the identification cards. Underline the correct word. Okay, so for number 1, it says, can someone read that? What two things do we have to choose from? Ureva, can you read that first sentence?
Okay, Dora is or isn't from Peru.
Good. Which one would you choose? See if you look at the red card above.
Yes, is.
Okay, is Dora from Peru or not?
Yes.
Is. Very good.
Is.
Very good. Number 2, Amalia. Can you read number 2?
Is from Ethiopia. So she isn't from
Isn't.
Ethiopia.
That's Ethiopia. Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Very good. You're correct. She isn't from Ethiopia because it says she's from Peru. Very good. Number 3. Now we're going to look at the red card about the young man. And it says, I'm not sure how to say that word, Asifa? Do you think that's correct, Shelby?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Who is going to read that next one? Raina, can you
Yes.
do that one?
I read with Asefa or Dawit.
That's
Dawit.
pretty good, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that the card says David Solomon, but
Yes.
in the question, in number 3, it says Asifa. So I'm thinking they're asking us about a different person.
Yeah, maybe it's wrong for the book.
Yeah, so the question would end up, it's a kind of a trick question, it looks like to me.
Okay. I read the sentence, the three, number 3.
Yes,
Asefa isn't in level 3.
okay.
The answer is isn't. Asefa isn't in
Think-
level 3.
I would think that would be correct because we don't see the card for Asifa. We cannot say whether he's in level 3 or not.
No, it isn't because he is in level 1.
Well, Dawit is in level 1, but I'm not sure about. What do you think, Shelby? They've given us kind of a strange question for the information they gave us. And I've looked down here in the questions below, and I don't see his name there either.
No, I know like sometimes there would be differences between this book and the older book, the older version.
Maybe
So I
a
don't
mis-
know if it's just a different, different picture in the older book or something.
Okay. Okay, let's look at number 4, and I think Marty has joined us. Marty, we are in the lesson book. Our regular lesson book on page 15. Can you hear me, Marty?
Book. No, what book?
Do you know where we are, Marty? So we're just in the regular book. The book on page 15. So page 15.
In the section marked number 2, green, we have 2 red cards. And the question that we're looking at is number 4. Can you read number 4, Marty?
Yeah, it's number 4 is he is level 1.
He is or he isn't
Level 1.
in level 1. Good. Which one is it? Is he in level 1 or he isn't in level 1?
He is.
Very good. He is in level 1. I can't see Belita, but it looks like Belita Howard has joined us also. Did you also get your book out and turn to page 15? Is she able to communicate with us, Shelby?
Belita, can you hear us? Belita. I'll send her a chat.
Okay. Let's look at the second section, the B part where it says pairs. Look at the chart. Student A, choose a person. Make sentences about that person. Student B, guess the person. So student A, Ureva, you be student A. Pick a person from that chart, the attendance chart, and make a statement like, Carlos is from Mexico. And then student B will be Amalia, and she will see if she can guess which one of these people it is. I guess they are expecting us to make two sentences, two short sentences, what country they're from, and are they in attendance, are they late, are they absent? So Ureva, can you make a sentence about one of the students in the chart?
She's from Peru. She's absent.
Okay. So Amalia, do you know which student that is?
It's Dora.
Very good. That's correct. Raina,
Yes.
can you be student A? Choose one of the students from that chart, level 1 attendance,
Okay.
and make two little sentences about that person. And Marty, listen carefully because I'm going to ask you to tell us which student she's talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
He is from Mexico and he is here.
Okay. Marty, do you know who she's talking about? Let's look at the chart. Under country, since she said the person's from Mexico, the first person there is Mexico. But is that person in class? No, he is late. Carlos is from Mexico, but he is late. So let's look further down the list. The next one from Mexico is Emilio. Is Emilio here? Marty, is Emilio here? If you look at the chart. It looks like in my book that the answer would be Mr. Emilio Varga. Now, all of you from Mexico, tell me if I said Varga correctly. Marty, did you find the answer?
Yes.
Okay. Who is the person she was talking about? I think Raina was talking about Mr. Emilio Varga from Mexico, and he is there on that Monday. Do we have anyone else who would like to make 2 statements about someone in this list?
I will.
Okay, Miss Shelby.
Okay, let's see if y'all can guess who I'm talking about. Look at the chart. Let's see. She is from Peru, and she is here today.
Okay. Who can answer that question? Who can answer Miss Shelby's question?
Ureba, I can't hear you.
Flores is from Peru. She's from Peru. She's here.
Yes, sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second, but now I can. Okay, good job. Yep. So it was Miss Luisa Flores, right? Okay. Ureba, can you give us one?
She is absent. She's from Peru.
Marti, do you know who she's talking about? So if you look in the chart, she said she is absent. So there's your absent ones. So you're gonna look and see, so it's one of these two, and she's from Peru. Which one is from Peru, Marti?
Dora.
Dora, yes.
From
Yep. So Ureba was talking about Miss Dora Moreno. Good job. Miss Carolyn, back to you.
Back to me. I was just in the bottom of the page there. It talks about, we're supposed to talk about other people in our class. Can someone think of a person who is not in our class tonight? And what should I do with my attendance report? Who am I going to mark absent? I have a young man who visited with us 2 nights, Alberto.
Alberto.
Is Alberto here tonight?
No.
Okay. He is absent. Okay. What about Melissa?
She's absent.
She is absent. Good use of she's absent. Very good. Raina, is Raina here? I marked Raina. I marked Raina here. Do you all see that Raina is with us this evening? Raina, are you here? Yes, you are here. You are not absent. What about Rodolfo? He lost connection last week before we got through. Maybe he thought his phone could not handle the strain. So Rodolfo, is he here?
It's absent.
He's absent. Ureva, is Ureva here?
Yes.
Who can tell me where Ureva's from? Who can remember that?
From Venezuela.
From Venezuela. And that's one of our phonetic things we have to practice when we use the Venezuela. Angelica. I don't see Angelica. Does anybody know what's happened to Angelica?
She is absent.
She is absent. Marty. Is Marty here tonight?
He is here.
He is here. And Belita Howard is here, but somehow we have no communication with her.
She didn't respond to the chat, and I asked her to do her video, but she didn't do that. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that at least it showed us her name, that someone is there. So, answering true or false to questions. Ureva is from Venezuela. Is that true or false?
True.
True.
That's true. Amalia, is she from Venezuela also?
False.
False. Where is she from?
Mexico.
Mexico.
She's from Mexico. Where is Raina from?
Reina. She is from Mexico too.
She's from Mexico too. Marty, he must be from Guatemala. Is Marty from Guatemala?
False.
True or false?
He is
False.
False. Where is he from?
He is from El Salvador.
He is from El Salvador. Very good. I wish we knew where Belita was from.
Belita, where are you from?
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
I was asking Belita where she is from.
She is from the United States.
Belita? Maybe.
Maybe. I think.
I think, Miss Shelby, that covers that page. I think that finishes page 15. Did you want me to go ahead with page 16? Or
I
have
can
you?
do 16.
Okay.
Okay, so let's turn to page 16 in your book. And Who can tell me what it says at the top in red?
Reading.
Reading, uh-huh. And what does it say above that in purple?
Read about immigrants in the U.S.
Yes. So what are we going to be reading about?
Immigrants.
Immigrants in the U.S. Yep. So before we start, I have actually, let's see. I want to share my screen with you. Let me get to the right screen.
You know that I was once an immigrant. I lived in Canada and I was not a Canadian citizen. So I was an immigrant.
So Miss Carolyn was an immigrant. Okay, so this just tells us some reading strategies, or at least one reading strategy that you guys can use when we read today or when we read any other class. Does anybody know what a cognate is?
Well, right now, Miss Shelby, I don't even know what a cognate is.
Really? Okay. They are my favorite words, cognates, because they look the same in Spanish and in English. Can everybody say the word cognate?
Cognate.
So cognates are words that look the same and sound the same in English and Spanish. Amalia, can you read the first little dot on the screen?
The number, not the number, the first word.
Yeah, both words.
Okay. Interesting. Interesante.
So we have interesting, that's English. And then we have interesante, which is Spanish, right?
Right.
When you look at them, what is similar about those two words? What's the same?
About the first 7 letters.
First letters.
Yeah, the first letters are pretty much all the same, right? And they sound alike. Interesting, interesante, they sound similar too. So they look the same and they sound similar. Same with the second pair of words. Marti, can you read the second dot for us?
Family. Family. Family.
Family, and then what's the, oh, sorry. Family and familia, So those are also cognates because they look the same and they sound similar in English and Spanish. Reina, can you read the third dot?
Yes. Salad and ensalada. Salad in English, ensalada in Spanish.
Perfect, yeah. And what's the same about those two?
The same is the 5 letters, the end, the word.
Yeah, there's 5 holders are the same. And you can even see in ensalada, we have salad
So,
from English.
okay.
So they're very similar. So when you're reading and you see these words, it's easy to read because you already know what they are in Spanish, if you read in Spanish. Can you think of any more words that are the same in or similar in English and Spanish?
Can I guess one? I don't know many Spanish words, but I think restaurante and restaurant. I think those two words, the English and the Spanish, are similar.
Yeah, they look very similar. Restaurant and restaurante, right? Yeah, those two are, that's a good example. What did you say, Ureba?
Perfect, perfecto.
Very good. Perfect and perfecto. Any more?
What about police? Is it policia and police in
Police.
English? Are those two, do they mean the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police and policía. Good job.
Pharmacy.
Yeah. Huh?
Pharmacy,
the
farmacia.
word
Oh, yeah.
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy and farmacia. Is that right? Or farmacia?
Correct and correcto.
Uh-huh. Correct and correcto. Yep. There's a ton of them. There's a lot of them. So when we're reading, we can look for these words. So we already know what they are. Another thing that can help you when you're reading is what we did just a few minutes ago. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. When I asked you and Raina read the words in red and the words in purple at the top of the page. And that tells us what we're doing. So you want to read the titles of things before you read, and that'll give you a good idea of what it's going to be talking about, right? Is there anything else that makes reading easier for you?
Maybe
Since I have to wear glasses, it makes it easier if the letters are larger.
Yep, if you have big letters, you don't have any glasses.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well maybe as we read more and more, you'll figure out more things that help you read. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and read on page 16. Look at the picture and I'll read number 1, okay? Mr. Addis is in the US to be safe. His country isn't safe. Okay. Number 2, Mrs. Sarit is in the US for work. Her job here is good. And number 3, Mrs. Medina is in the US to be with her family. Her brother and his family are here. Okay. Does anybody want to read number 1 again?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Addis is in the US to be safe. His country isn't safe.
What about number 2? Ureba?
Okay. Mr. Sari is in the US from work. Her job here is good.
Good job. And that first word, that person's title, MRS dot, how do you say that?
is no, it is a woman is married.
Yes, a married woman, and it sounds like Mrs.
Mrs.
Mhm.
Mrs.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, Marti, do you want to read number 3? Oh, Marti, we can't hear you very good. We can't hear you.
Okay. Mr. Medina is in the U.S. to be with their family, his brother, and his family are there.
There we go. Good job. And that's another one that has the MRS. And so we pronounce that, it sounds like Mrs. Mm-hmm. When you take away the S
Mrs.
in the dot, that's how you say that.
Mary M.
Mr.
Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Señor,
And Mr. is a man or a woman?
ma'am,
Man. Uh-huh. And then if you add this, how do you say it?
um, Mrs.
Perfect. Mrs. Good job. Okay. So those sentences that we just read are telling us why these people are here. Amalia, can you tell me, why is Mr. Addis in the US?
Um, um, Mr. Adil is in United, and you say to be safe.
To be safe. Uh-huh. Perfect. Let's see. Raina, why is Mrs. Medina in the US?
For it be with her family.
Mm-hmm. And Ureba, why is Mrs. Sarit in the US?
A good job.
A good job, yeah. Yes. Okay. Does anybody want to share why you are here? Why are you here?
Okay. For me, is the fair third position. My country is no security. It's very dangerous. Is second, my family is here
Okay, did your family move here before you or with you?
before before me.
Before you. Okay. Does anyone else want to tell us, why are you here? Amalia?
Yes, I'm here before for working in here, and now I'm here because I have my family here.
There you go. So you came
And
here.
I have for working, and later have a family here, so I'm stay here.
There you go. It's a good reason to stay with your family.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else want to share?
I,
Okay.
I'm married and I come with my husband here.
You came with your husband, so to be with your family.
Yes.
All right.
Did he have a good job here already?
Yes.
He came here for a job? Raina,
Sorry?
did your husband come here for a job?
Yes. It's very opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Marti, do you want to share why you are here? We can't hear you.
I can listen my wife. This son.
Your wife and your son?
Yep.
Awesome. So a lot of you have come here because your family is here, right? Huh? Okay. Okay. Then at the bottom of the page, it says some people are happy to be in the US and some people are not happy to be in the US. Why do you think some people are not happy to be in the US? Oh, I can't hear you. You're right. There we go.
Okay. Because the family maybe is not here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's a good one. So maybe their family is still in a different country. So they're not happy to be here because they're not with their family. That's a good one. Yeah. What's another reason why someone would not be happy to be in the US?
I think sometimes it's because no can communicate with another, especially when you don't speak English and you know understand nothing. It's really hard for when you just come in here and you know speak English.
Yeah, for sure. I
I
can't imagine.
have heard that reason many times from young women who married soldiers and came to this country because their husband was here. They did not come with their families and they don't have anyone to talk to. I've heard that a great deal from young women who married their husbands in another country and followed their husbands to the husband's home country. In fact, I've seen some who really become emotionally and mentally ill from not being able to communicate. And it's a reason why I want to help you if I can to learn English so that you'll be able to communicate and help your children.
Yep, that's why you are here in this class, right? um, I remember, and I can't even imagine how it is to live in the US when you don't know English. That must be really hard. I went to Spain for only 1 month and I spoke a little bit of Spanish and it was still really hard for just 1 month. So I'm sure it's really hard for a long time, many, many years. So yeah, those are some good reasons. Anybody have anything else?
Sometimes too, our customs here are different, and they are different in different parts of the country. I've lived in several different places in the United States, and when people's customs are different, it makes it difficult if your customs are also different. They don't celebrate the same things you do.
All right, let's go to page 17 in your book and we'll read about immigrants in the US or in the United States. Okay, so it's in that box at the top. Does anybody want to read the big green letters?
I can try.
Okay, Molly, go ahead.
Okay. Immigrants in United States. Many immigrants come to the United States. Why? Some people come from work. They get jobs here. Some people come to be safe. They are not safe in their county. Some people come to be with their family. For example, a man comes for his wife Carolyn to be with him.
Good.
Are
Let's
immigrants?
have somebody else read the next part, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You did really good though. Who wants to read the bottom? Ureba? Go ahead.
Are immigrants happy to be in the United States? It is difficult to come to a new country, but 80% of immigrants say they are happy to be here.
Good. Amalia and Ureba, that was really good reading. That was really good. Marti, can you read where it says, it has the little green box?
Happy to be in the U.S. Now
Perfect. Yep.
US.
Raina, can you read the little blue box?
Not happy to be in the US.
Mm-hmm. So look at that circle
Mhm.
that's above that. How much is green? A lot or a little?
A lot.
A lot. So that tells us, what does that tell us?
Be happy.
Yeah, more people are happy to be in the US than the people who are not happy to be in the US. That's a smaller portion. Good job. So then it says, check your understanding, read the article again, and then read the sentences. Circle true or false. Let's see if we can do it. So number one, who wants to do number one? Marty, go ahead.
Somewhere immigrant coming to the U.S. for work.
Is that true or false?
True.
True. Good job. Okay. Number two. Raina, you want to do number two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Families always come to the US together. False.
False. So sometimes one person comes and then more people come.
Yeah.
How about number three? You ready? You can do it.
Most immigrants are happy to be in the US. True.
Yep. That's what we saw in the circle. Most of it was green. So most people are happy. Okay. So then it says, take a survey. Ask your classmates, are you happy to be here? What do you think? Are you happy to be here?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a yes from Reina, yes from Marti, and yes from Ureba. Amalia, are you happy to be here?
Yes.
Yay. I'm happy to be here. Miss Carolyn, are you happy to be here?
Sometimes. That's one of the choices, you know.
Yes,
Sometimes it's not a good day.
that's true. Sometimes I'm not happy to be here, but sometimes I am. Most of the time I am. So
And it's okay sometimes not to be happy to be here.
yes.
Sometimes the politics is too much. I And my daughter tells me too, sometimes, Mama, I can't watch the news, too much politics.
Yes, for sure. All right. So let's go to page 18. Okay, so we have a little blue box and it has 6 words in it. And they are boring, easy, good, great, hard, interesting. Okay, can you guys repeat after me? Boring,
Boring,
easy,
easy,
good,
good,
great,
Great.
great,
hard,
hard,
interesting.
Interesting.
Mhm. And sometimes, I know I say it like this a lot, interesting. Some people say it like interesting. That's how I say it. So it sounds a little bit different. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys 1 or 2 minutes to fill in the blanks. Right here, you're gonna pick a word from here and put it in the correct blank. Okay? So just write it down and then we'll check our answers. Okay, so 1 or 2 minutes to write that down. Okay, let's see. How about number 1?
good,
Good. Number 2?
great,
Great. Number 3?
interesting,
Why is that interesting?
in Spanish, interesante.
Why? Why? Because she attends to your book.
Yeah, she's paying attention to her book. She's like, oh, that's interesting. Qué interesante. Okay, number 4?
Easy,
Easy. Number 5?
Hard.
hard,
And number 6?
boring,
Why is that one boring?
no interesting.
She
It's
doesn't
not,
have a smile on her face. She looks like she's kind of sad. Kind of.
yes. Good job. Okay. Which one of those words is a cognate?
Interesting.
Yep. Interesting.
I heard someone use another cognate when we were talking a moment ago about whether they were safe in their home country or not. They used the word security, pronounced slightly different, but security can mean safe also in the United States in English. So that's another cognate, security.
Yeah, security and I think
Seguridad.
seguridad. They're pretty similar. Yeah, that would be considered a cognate. Awesome. Okay, let's look down at the middle of the page. It says to listen, and then it says A, look at the picture. So we're gonna look at the picture in the circle. It says Min Jung is asking Ilya and Kamaria about their class. And we have to guess A or B. Do you think, looking at the picture, how is the class? Is
I
it
think B.
B?
Good.
Why do you think B?
Because it's smiling, the lady.
Yeah, they're all smiling. They look happy.
Yes.
If it was hard, what do you think they would look like?
Maybe. Yeah. Sad.
Really upset?
They might look a little bit bored or a little bit frustrated if the class was hard, because if they weren't understanding what was being said or how they should read or what the words were, I would imagine they would act a little frustrated. Maybe just go out the door and not speak.
Walk away.
Walk away.
See ya. Bye. Okay. So, Miss Carolyn, if you will help me be the audio
Okay.
activity. Let's see what.
What page are we on?
Let me see. It's on page 280. Everybody else stay on page 18. Me and Miss Carolyn are going to go to page 280.
In our teacher book, we have the scripts. Okay, page 18, you said? Okay.
Yeah.
So you want me to be Ilya?
Sure. Can you be Ilya and Kamaria?
Okay.
Okay. So now you guys are going to listen to our conversation and look at B. It says, listen again and complete the sentences. So after you listen to me and Miss Carolyn, we're going to complete the sentences and circle the right answers, okay? All right, so I'm Min Jung. Hi, so what class are you in?
Ilya. We're in level 1.
Min Jung. Oh, how is it?
Kamaria. It's good. The teacher is great.
Min Jung. What about the students?
Ilya. They're great too.
All right. So let's look at number 1. It says Ilya and Kamaria are in
Level 1.
level 1. So you're going to circle A. And you can also write level 1 in the blank. Okay. Amalia, can you do number 2 for us?
The students are great.
Perfect. Circle B, great. Write great in the line. Okay, so that was a little conversation. Now we're going to read a bigger conversation, okay? And we're going to, so it says, you have to listen carefully and see what Ilya says. Ilya says English is blank. So listen to me and Miss Carolyn, okay? All right. Minjung. Hi, so what class are you in?
Ilya, we're in level 1.
Minjung. Oh, how is it?
Kamaria, it's good. The teacher is great.
Minjung. What about the students?
They're great too. There's just one problem.
Oh, what's the problem?
Ilya, English is hard.
Okay. Ureba, you want to do C for us? Can you read that sentence? Oh, I can't hear you.
English is hard.
English is hard. What do you guys think? Is English hard?
No,
Yes.
no, no, it's hard.
Marina says yes.
Because
No.
is hard, we close, not close. We open English. Listen, speaking is easy.
So if you're open to it, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy.
Good. I'm glad it's easy. Ureba, you can be the teacher now.
Okay.
She's like, I know
Yeah, because it is if we say it's difficult, it's not learning. It's more difficult learning English.
that's a good point. Yeah. It's all about how you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your mindset. If you think, oh, this is going to be so hard, then it's going to be terrible.
No, it's
But if you're
easy.
like, yeah, this is going to be awesome,
Yeah.
it'll be easy. That's a good point, Ureba.
Well, let me just say this, and that is the world over, all people say English is hard, including those who speak English. Having been an English teacher for many years, and one of the reasons I tell all of you about things that we go over sometimes, that it is hard, it is difficult, because even English speaking people will tell you that it is difficult to remember, to hear the differences sometimes in what people say or how they say it. English is hard. And so I don't want you all to give up, and I don't want you to think that you're the only one struggling with it. Even English speaking people struggle sometimes with understanding English. It is not a new thing to say English is hard.
Yes, it is a hard thing. Ureba, what?
There are other language is more difficult. Chinese is more difficult. Arabic is more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
English is mix the other language. Is a mix the is word same as Spanish. Is the the sentences,
Mm-hmm.
the no sé, estructura, se dice
Structure.
structure is
Mm-hmm.
same as Spanish.
That's true. It also can depend on what your first language is. Because if your first language is Chinese and you're learning English,
It's
that might
very hard.
be.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
learning
yeah.
any language is pretty hard, and it's a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that you have to be positive about it too, though. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Okay. Page 19. Here we go. Okay. Who wants to be Minjung? Let's have Amalia. Can you be at the top of the page? We're gonna read this conversation. You're gonna be Minjung. Reina, can you be Ilya? And Marti, can you be Kamaria? Where it says Kamaria. Do you know where we are? So we're right here. So Amalia, you're going to start. You're Minjung. Reina is Ilya. And then Marti, you'll read for Kamaria. Okay? So we're going to go in order. So go ahead, Amalia.
Hi. So what class are you in?
We're in level 1.
Oh, how is it?
Marti?
Is good. The teacher is great.
Mm-hmm.
What about the students?
They're great too.
Good job, everybody. Awesome. Okay, so now it says we're going to take that same conversation and we're going to make new conversations with different words. Okay, so it says groups of 3, which I don't know if we'll do that because we only have 4 students. Practice the conversation, then make new conversations. Use the words in the boxes. Okay, so let's have me, Miss Carolyn, and Ureba. We're gonna do an example, okay? So I'll be A, Ureba B, and Miss Carolyn C. Okay? And where there's a colored block, you're going to fill in a word. So, for instance, if you're a C, you have 2 colored blocks to fill in, right? You have one that's blue and one that's red, orange. So you're going to look down here, you have blue words and you have reddish orange words, right? So in the blue space, you're going to choose one of the blue words. Doesn't matter, just one of them. And then in the red space, you're going to choose one of the red words, okay? Whichever one you want. And there's also another space down here if you're B, it's red, so you'd pick one of the red words, okay? So me and Ureba and Miss Carolyn are gonna do it first, okay? And then we'll have Amalia, Reina, and Marti, okay? Okay, I'm A, Ureba B, Miss Carolyn C. Hi, what class are you in?
We're in level 1.
Oh, how is it?
It's interesting. The teacher is helpful.
What about the students?
Who's B?
That's Ureba.
Excuse me. They're smart too.
Yep. So yeah, we can choose any word for that last one. But does anybody know what this word T-O-O means? You know what that means? T-O.
También.
Uh-huh, yes. In Spanish is también. Mm-hmm. So if we're saying también, we're saying the teacher is interesting. También, the students are. What would
No,
be-
we said the teacher is helpful.
or any of them.
Okay.
I was just saying we probably want them to be the same, right? Because it would make sense to say the teacher is helpful. And then you would say, what about the students? They're,
Friendly. Friendly.
you could say friendly, but what I'm trying to say with the two, that two on the end, it means también, right? So like in Spanish, if you said, la maestra es interesante, también los estudiantes son,
Amigables.
yeah, you could. But doesn't también usually mean you want to say the same thing?
The same. What?
Would it make sense? Would it make more sense to say,
Inteligentes.
would it make sense to say like, la maestra es interesante, los estudiantes son interesantes también, right? You might want it to be the same. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I think, does that make sense, Miss Carolyn?
Yes. When you use the word to, I just thought we were talking about, like when I said the teacher is helpful, so then we would want to say the students are helpful also too. That's something else that the word to, T-O-O, means also, which would also reflect back to what you said the first time.
Mm-hmm. So I think it just depends on the context, probably. But do you think it would be okay to use a different one there, Miss Carolyn?
Well, if you could say the students are friendly, you know, and add the to, because the person, by saying the teacher is helpful and friendly are very similar.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Now, interesting would be very different. That would be more, you might be able to link interesting with smart.
So
But
two words that are similar.
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
and some of that's going to be a personal perspective, you know, issue.
Yeah. All right.
I
Well,
wouldn't think that easy would go very well with smart, or I don't think great would go very well with helpful or friendly.
yeah. Okay, so let's just try for the red boxes to pick two words in the red that are similar. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's have Amalia, Reina, and Marti read the conversation and fill in the blanks with new words, okay? Let's see. Amalia, can you be A? Reina, or let's do Amalia A, Marti B, and Reina C. You can go ahead.
Hi, what
Marty, you're B.
B. Okay. We're in level 1.
Oh, how is it? I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm confused.
Oh, how is it?
It's great. The teacher is friendly
Mhm.
too. The teacher, no, the teacher is friendly.
Uh-huh.
What about the students?
And Marty, you're B.
Age is not 2.
That sounds good. Smart is a little bit different than friendly, right? So it's not very similar, but I might choose helpful, or you could choose friendly again, right? So maybe they're helpful too. Does that make sense? Why they should be similar? Because you have that too, that también. You need
Yeah, maybe
similar.
great.
Well, we could do great, yeah. Um, it's like the red box. So we're supposed to use the red word, but I think great would work. We just wanted to go off the rails. Okay. So I'll ask you guys. Hi, what class are you in, Ureba? What class are you in?
It's good.
What class are you in? Look at the conversation. It says, "Hi, what class are you in?" And they said, "We're in
Okay,
level 1."
okay.
So now I'm
No,
asking
we are,
you.
okay, IB, okay? We level 1.
Hmm. But I'm just asking you, Ureba. I'm asking you.
Okay.
What class are you in, Ureba? What class
I,
are you in, Ureba?
I, I, I am in level 1.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. How is it?
It's great.
Yay.
The teacher is helpful.
Yay. What about the students?
They're helpful too.
Nice. Good job. Okay. Good job. All right. Miss Carolyn, do you want to do the grammar on the next page?
Next page.
Well, I was asking.
Okay. We sort of talked about this last week, where that, maybe it was even the week before, when we have first person,
Page 20 in your book.
right, on page 20, where it says, it says in the purple, it says affirmative of be with we, you, they, and it. Okay. We refers to Shelby, Carolyn, Ureva, Amalia, Raina, and Marty, and Belita. We, all of us. But it's really first person plural. It's all of us, but that means that there are 7 of us. And so we say we. You can take 2 people, Shelby and I are helping you to learn. We are teachers. You are students. They, all of them, are. So if I were speaking and I was talking about our class, I could talk about us in the first person and say, we are learning English. Then I could say, you students, you are learning English. Then I could talk about my class to Shelby and say, they. That means Yareva, Raina, Amalia, Marty, Delita are all learning English. They are learning English. So you use the verb are. Instead of saying I am, I say we are. And in the third person, it. Now, I'm not going to talk about a man or a woman. I'm going to talk about an object or an animal. And I will say, it is interesting. The dog is interesting. It is interesting. So I would use the verb is. Remember in the singular, we had I am, you are, he, she, it is. So the verb that we use has to be linked to the subject. We have to choose the correct word to match with the person and the singular or plural, and it has to match to be correct in English. And that's why I say, and why we were talking earlier about English being hard, is because the subject and verb have to match in the declension, in the verb, the correct verb with the correct subject. There's not just one word. There's 2 different words. And you have to choose the correct one to be correct English. So let's look at these sentences and let's see if we can choose the correct verb. Is it going to be are or is it going to be is? It will depend on the subject, the word you, or the word they, or the word we, or the word it. So let's look. It says under practice, look at the pictures of some new students at Greenville Adult School. Complete the sentences. So for number 1, look at picture 1. There are 2 men and there's a counter. It looks like maybe at a bank. Use the correct form of be. I'll do the first one and then I want someone else to do the next one. Mr. Salas, you blank in level 1. So what verb form are we going to use? Are we going to use are or is?
Are.
That's correct. You are in level 1. Tylene says, thank you. Thanks. Okay. Raina, take the next one, number 2. And instead of a bank, I think it must be at the school. So you begin number 2.
Number 2 is are.
Okay. Here, you are in level 2. Paulo says, thank you. Ilan says, thanks, bye. Paulo says, goodbye, Mr. Salas. Okay, let's look at number 3. Amalia?
So you mer, mer, measure are
Messeret?
measure are in level 1. Yes, we are in level 1.
Okay. Marty, can you take number 4, please?
Paulo is so class is wait, is
Yes, it is interesting.
just is inter.
Okay, and now, and how are the students? So go down, Marty, where it says Messeret, they, blank, great. What verb goes in there?
Is
They is great, is that what should go in that blank?
Who are?
They are
they are
great.
they miss they are great.
Yes, they are great. If it had been it, you could have used is, but it was they, so it has to be are, okay? Do you understand, Marty?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Shelby, this next role play says to use contractions in the conversation. So I'm guessing, maybe from your experience, you can help me a little bit. Are they meaning that we should say, like in number 1, you aren't in level 1, meaning,
I think it's up there at the top in the box on the right.
I see,
It's
I see, you're, okay. Thank you.
mhm.
I didn't see that. My bifocals. Okay, let's look in the book. In the little box, Shelby's telling us where it says grammar watch. The letters are in red, but it's a little box off to the side. And it's talking about our contractions. Remember, we had contractions last week. We started this class with contractions. And now we're going to have some more contractions. Instead of saying we are, we're going to say we're, which is W-E apostrophe R-E. Do you see it in that little yellow box? Okay, and underneath that it says you are, but the contraction for that is your. And this one gets confused with a lot of other words because it sounds so similar to some other things we have in English that mean like, where is your car? Well, your in that case means possession. You own a car, it's your car. But your car is not the same as the contraction because the meaning is different, and yet they sound exactly the same. So when you hear the word your, sometimes people confuse what you mean. Does the car belong to you, or are you going somewhere? Okay, they are, and the contraction is there. And that's another one that gets confused with several different words. There can be that place over there. It can be their bicycle, and it can be they are. So it sounds the same, but it's all spelled different and it all means different things. This is why English is so hard, because we have so many words that will sound exactly the same, but they have different meanings. It is and it's. Did you see those contractions? Okay, we're going to go back through the conversations again, and this time we're going to use contractions instead of just one single word. We're going to use contractions, put two words together. Okay, Ureva, in number 1, it says complete
The letter A, number 1.
same page, and we're starting back at number 1 in A, where Mr. Salas says, you blank in level 1. What would you say there instead of you are? What is the contraction you would use?
The you are,
Your.
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 Yes, but where you
In
where
the
is
book?
the position in the book?
Okay, practice 1,
Practice. What?
A.
Okay, read the conversation. You
Uh-huh.
underline the correct word. Dice,
Yeah.
I'm ready and leave. Oh no. Where and late. It's okay. You're on time. You or you're not late.
Are you on page 20?
Okay, 21. It's 20.
Yeah, we're still on page 20. We're using contractions.
Okay.
Okay, so number 1, where Mr. Salas says, you are in level 1. Now, what contraction could we use there instead of you are?
Okay, you're in level 1. You're
You're
in level 1.
in level 1. Very good. Thank you. Now then, Amalia, number 2, Mr. Salas.
Here, you're in level 2.
Very good. You use the contraction. Paulo says, thank you. Ilan says, thanks, bye. Paulo says, goodbye, Mr. Salas. Now, Paulo, number 3. Raina, can you do that conversation there that starts with Paulo and does and Tylene?
So you and Meserit are in level 1. Yes, we're in level 1.
Very good. You did the contraction. We're in level 1. Okay, Marty, can you do number 4 with Paulo and Tylene?
There is the contraction.
It's interesting.
Is and
So how is your class? It's
very
interesting. That would be the contraction for it is. Very good.
is. Then, uh,
Okay, and just like we had last week when we did the contractions, there is contractions on the next page on 21
one,
are not, aren't.
uh,
weren't, you're not, you're not, you aren't. So just like we had the not that we talked about when class started tonight, um, we have the not on page 21. Ureva tried to get us to go to page 21 a little bit quicker. And
Hey,
so
okay.
let's,
Andre,
yes, go ahead.
okay. Andre angry. Oh no, we're not late. You say, it's okay. You're on time. You're not late. The second, teacher.
Okay, let's have Amalia do number 2 with the teacher.
Where are Maria and Carmen? They're, they're not late, not here.
Okay, so which one? They're here or they're not here? What did the
They're not
teacher
here.
ask? They're not here. That's correct.
They're not here. Uh-huh.
Okay. Maria and Carmen. Raina, can you do number 2, Maria and Carmen?
Yeah. Maria and Carmen. Oh, we're not here. Sorry. We're late.
Okay. I think they meant to say, oh, we're here. Sorry, we're late.
Mhm.
They, by the time they said that, they were in the classroom.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, we're not here. Sorry. We're late.
Okay. Marty, can you do Solomon?
Salmon is my class in group is not integrity for you class.
Okay. Is the class interesting or is it not interesting?
Uh, inter no.
Solomon said, my class is good.
Mm-hmm.
So is it interesting or is it not interesting?
Is interesting.
Okay, so it should be my class. It's interesting.
Is
So
is
the first, yeah, you should underline the it's. The first choice.
oh my is not integrity too. Yes, it's not.
Okay. But I think we better underline is because we already said it is interesting in the first one and we used the word to. Remember when Miss Shelby was talking about when we use the word T-O-O, it needs to be the same as the other one. Like when we were doing the other conversation exercise. So if we say my class is good, it's interesting, then Arena says my class is interesting or is not interesting too. We got 2 on the end. So what do we need to make it match with?
Uh, is
Yes, we need to make it match with is. It is. You're not messing up, Mike.
No, I was just, because it looks good. It looks good.
Yes, that's good.
is
Yes, it is. My class is interesting too. Good, Marty. Okay. Urena, do the next 2 lines there at the end. Solomon says, how are the students? You take Irina's section there where it says there.
They're great. They're friendly.
Yes, good. They're friendly. Miss Shelby, we
Yes.
are now at the bottom of page 21, where it says show what you know, but we only have 3 minutes. Are we doing 2 hours or 2.5?
I think just 2.
Okay,
So we'll just do that show what you know with the review next week.
okay.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't go over any of their assignment book, the 10 pages in the assignment book. So we may need to start with that as well next week and see if they had any problems with that. Will give them 2 weeks to work on, and we've done the not now. So the contraction with not in it. So they will have some experience in doing that as well.
yeah. Okay. All right. So we are done with unit 1. You made it through the first unit. Yes. We made it through. And next week, we're going to do a review of Unit 1. So next week, we'll have a repaso of Unit 1, okay? So this week, for homework, I think last week we did, let's see, in your workbook, we did pages 2 to 10. Yes. And 10 was probably hard because we hadn't done that yet. I accidentally did that. It should have been 2 to 9. So if you didn't do 10, that's okay. So, and if you haven't finished 2 through 10, go ahead and finish that.
I did.
You did? You finished it?
Yeah.
Okay. So just make sure by next Thursday you have pages 2 through 13 completed. Okay. So finish page 2 through 13 in your workbook. And then at the beginning of class next week, me and Miss Carolyn will ask if you have any questions about the workbook, okay? Okay. Do y'all have any questions for us right now? Everybody's good? All right. Then we will see you next Thursday for our review. Okay. All right.
Okay, see you next week.
See you next week.
People are doing very well.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye. Adios.
Hi.
Adios.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.